Hey everybody, this is Miss Reyes. Welcome to this video now that we're online learning and I can't see you guys. This is gonna be another way for me to talk to you, communicate, and be able to explain this project to you. So basically this is gonna be all about our quarantine and what was the change like? How did you react? How did it change your daily lifestyle? Your thoughts on everything, and basically I want to know like how you guys are doing. So starting with the setup of your sketchbook, so you might remember that there are 4 prompts. So the first one is about the quarantine lifestyle. So how did you react to the change and all that? So what we're gonna do is in sketchbooks, most of you pick them up, they're 9 by 12. So all that we have to do is like make a line cutting it in half, and a trick is to just fold it in half. And then here's your line. And that's it. So I'm going to write my title. This is good. This is called Quaran-zine, like quarantine and a zine, since that's what the actual project is gonna be. It's like these small books, and they're meant to be copied and distributed, which we're not gonna do. We have no way of doing it. So that's what we're going to use the I believe it was 12 by 18 large paper that we gave you during the supply pickup days last month. If you don't have that large paper, don't worry about it. We'll get to that when we get to it. Right now, I want to focus on the sketchbook part. So starting with prompt number 1, I have it over there to my left. It is quarantine lifestyle. So record the physical and psychological changes in your lifestyle. How did you adjust to the change? How do you feel mentally, physically? Was there any relief of responsibilities or piling on? Disappointment about canceled activities? What were the highs and lows? What new opportunities came about? So with this quarantine, everyone's having different experiences. Some of you maybe feeling good about it. Some of you may be a little bit more stressed out, and both are totally fine. Right now I'm just gonna decorate my sketchbook. Let's make it a little flag. Oops, messed up there. It's totally fine. There we go. So you can decorate however you want. This is like the recommended setup. If you have another way that works for you, go for it. So you're going to be doing 2 thumbnail sketches, and preferably about the size of like a 2 by 3. So let's say I'm going to do one right here. That's 2 inches. I'm going to do, it's a little hard to see, making sure that it's straight. Is that one? All right, so 1, 2, 3. Here's the other one. Or 1, 2, 3. And this is obviously 1, 2. So 2 inches by 3 inches. This is how like the minimum of how big your thumbnail sketches should be. If you want to do a little bit bigger, go for it. Just try not to be smaller than this. So this is where sketches are gonna go, and then you can have a section for your notes. Generally I like to box everything, so let's say These are my notes. And like personally, my experience, I was kind of just confused overall during the first week of quarantine. I was thinking, you know, what are we gonna do for school? Is it gonna stay closed? When are we going back? I still have the high hopes that we would go back, but I don't. They said we would be closed until the end of the academic year, so, and that made me really sad. So some things that I felt confused. I didn't know what to expect. I also felt sad that I'm missing school. My friends and my family. So I can't, I've mentioned this before, but my family lives 4 hours away and I can't even go visit because we can't go out. So that's just an example of like notes, how you can set them up, thumbnail sketches, draw like, you could do a portrait of like what you were doing, how you felt, show your expressions, show either responsibilities started to pile up or maybe they suddenly became less, or you learned time management and you know how to set the best schedule that works for you, and you're working on all your assignments and keeping up, which pretty much all of you have, and I'm so thankful that you're communicating with me and asking questions. So you're like, Miss Reyes, I'm confused, and then I'm like, I got you, don't worry. So, and my own experiences, my work sort of piled on because I have like this to do for you guys, which I love, and I'm glad that I get to do this. But I also have like my Cal State Long Beach assignments, so those started piling on too. Just a lot of things. So I'm also learning time management. It just felt like that's what I'm learning. I'm looking at the clock a lot. And I have a bunch of stuff to do, but I was so confused. Those are my thoughts. Another thing to consider is the element of art that each prompt has. And in this case, it is value. Do these blocky letters. That's fun. I always mess up with the E. That's fine. So something that I did over here with these books is see how I did the pages and sort of layered them even with a marker. You can create value just by layering and placing more lines where it's darker and placing less lines where it's lighter. That's called hatching. So something that you can do is something like that. You're building value with a marker if you choose to do this with ink. There's also, so let's name that hatching. And then of course cross hatching also exists. So there's that. Another awesome tool, if you all have it of course, are drawing pencils. This is the set that I got from Amazon. It was around $13. I have Prime, so it didn't charge me any shipping, but I got a set of 12 pencils for those $13, and they all work really great. You can see which ones I've been using the most. So using at least like 3 different drawing pencils. I recommend using like from an HB, 2B, and 6B. Another set would be like an H, a 2B, then a 4B. I don't think some of you would have the 5B or the F, and then anything under. So there's this that you can use. We did a value review when we were still in school, and most of you should have that on your sketchbooks, and a value scale if you still have that. If you don't have drawing pencils, I would recommend using like regular wooden pencils, making sure that they're wooden. They are easier to have a full value than if you were to use like a mechanical pencil, because you can still do sort of the same stuff using the side of it, and then layering with firm pressure, and then releasing for lighter. So see, it's possible. So this is sort of what your sketchbook layout could look like. And I'm gonna do a title somewhere like prompt number 1, quarantine lifestyle. Yeah, so this is what is pretty much gonna be. You can choose the media that you want to work with. It can be markers like I did over here. It can be drawing pencils, regular pencils. Just make sure that value is represented and you have a full range visible and it's clearly represented. So that is the element of art that you want to use. And another thing that I didn't mention the PowerPoint, but it is in the document, like all the instructions, is that you need to use a principle of design as well. So you need the element of art plus a principle of design. So having the value plus something else, like you probably have like balance somewhere there, you have rhythm, you have repetition. Choose one and make it work within your thumbnail sketches, and then also explain what principle of design you used. So let's say in this thumbnail, mention somewhere what principle was used. So this is pretty much it. You have a full week to work on all of this, or like just on the first one. It'll be week 1, which is what we're on, prompt number 1, and then next week we'll do prompt number 2. But don't worry about that for now. Worry about prompt number 1. And this is due, grab another marker. So down here you'll see this is due on Sunday, I believe it's the 26th or 26th at 11:59 p.m. So take a photo of this part, submit to Google Classroom, and it will be worth between like 15 to 20 points, because you're going to have a lot of notes, you're going to have a lot of detail in your thumbnails, you're going to explain what principle of design you use, how did you use value, and make sure to let's label them too of what prompt you're doing, so it'll be a good way to keep track of everything. So let me know if you have any other questions. I hope this cleared up some confusion, and I'm glad that we can do this and that we can communicate, even if it's just through this video form. So I hope you're all doing well. You had a fun, relaxing spring break. I know a lot of us needed that week of vacation. So yeah, let me know what else you guys want to know. Thank you for watching.